intense work that is so required for these sort of uh, very layered exercise. I would say complicated but layered exercise in which clarity in the department, determination in the minds of the officers, and a certain level of dedication and commitment of the ministers, both Sri Raosaheb Patil Danve and the minister here, Sri Pralhad Joshi, have put in a lot of effort to make sure that the objective of unlocking the mining sector is really achieved. And in the last 2 years, they've kept the momentum up. That today, where the first tranche in June 2020 had 64 mines open blocks opened up, today there is at one go 141 being offered. So I think it is a landmark development which ministries which are very, very important for the economy, such as the mining, have really taken the reform agenda forward and have gone into depth of it. I place on record my appreciation to the Minister Pralhad Joshi and also to the Minister Raosaheb Patil Danve for having taken this agenda forward with earnestness. But even as we talk about it today, for keeping the sustained interest in reform and policy-driven approach for opening up the mining sector, it is well worth a while for us to remember that being the fourth largest coal reserves in the world, India was still the second largest producer in the world. You have such a wealth of coal, but you're still only producing not as much as you can. And it's not even a coal exporter. On the contrary, we seem to be spending a lot of other sources. For one or the other reason, justifying imports. So that is what I think in the last 2 years, we are trying to change the course of a massive ship which requires its own steering capacities and so on. So that is now being moved around to place the emphasis on exploration and mining in the country itself. I think that is what is important to be recognized. And India, which has a large reservoir of coal, the black coal, is now ready to do the mining and be able to commercially handle it. Days are gone since after the nationalization in 71 and 72, where we went about thinking that only a public sector company can really produce for the nation, and Coal India was tasked with that performance of produce coal for the sake of moving the country's development agenda. But unfortunately, what had happened was the Coal India, and I'm not blaming anybody, but the fact is that it couldn't really ramp up its capacities as much as the country's economy demanded. And gradually, as the growing nation's requirement of coal became too much, fair cooperation as well. The moment the states are able to cooperate and also allow for greater exploration of coal, you will be able to earn much more because the policy actually directly then gives the revenue which is so much required for the states. I think 11 states in this case of the new policy can directly benefit from today's option because they are the ones who are going to be hosting these mines and they are the ones who are holding this wealth of the coal. And this option is going to open up their capacities. And with them on board, 11 of them are going to be directly earning wonder wealth which is going to come out of this auction. And because of that, I think the sixth tranche takes a very big step forward in releasing greater resources. Pralhad Joshi ji referred to how the finance ministry has walked the mile with the coal ministry to make sure that coal gasification also gets enough priority and gets enough funding. And on that, we have really made sure that the ministry doesn't suffer. On the contrary, with the global gas prices being what they are, and with the uncertainties which are prevailing, India's coal gasification actually takes a very big importance, and that is where I think, as the minister invited all of you, there should also be equally, as you have shown today, equally interest to be shown in the coal gasification attempts which the ministry is doing, and the finance ministry has been very clearly with the ministry in ensuring that India's capacity or Indian stock of coal is also used for producing gas, because that is the route here. The gas is going to be the transitional gas, transitional energy when we are trying to move from fossil fuels to renewable energy. So the global prices of natural gas is going to go up. With us being blessed with a reservoir of gold, which is coal, black coal, we should now be in a position to be able to use the coal to produce gas and be able to help industries which so requires that. So I think the 11 states where these coal mines are being spread will actually benefit from this. For the benefit of our media, I would certainly like to highlight the names of the states: Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, and Bihar are the states where these lots are located, which are being put onto auction today. And that is going to really give them the necessary advantage because of the wealth which is actually present. I actually today feel very happy that the efforts of the coal ministries uh, come to fruition. This is going to be one of the milestone events, as opposed to the very many number of attempts which were made earlier by the earlier regime. You see that the current exploration policy has actually helped in producing more coal. Just for statistics, under the UPA 2 government, the CAGR of coal imports from years financial year 10 to financial year 14 was 23%. With only the intervention which has been cited by the minister as the steps taken to reform this sector, and subsequent to the reform, the distinct growth in this sector is noteworthy, and I would definitely want you to compare it with UK2 time. I've already mentioned that during UK2 government, the CAGR of coal imports from 10 to 2014 was 23%. Only with the intervention in the policy level, the CAGR has been brought down of coal imports has been brought down to 2% by the efforts of Prime Minister Modi and Minister Tranche. 23% coming down to 2% in growth of imports. And this is for the year 15 to 19. Coal import by the power sector in total has been reduced by 41%. That is 26.99 metric tons in 21-22, the year 21-22, up to March 2022, from 45.48 metric tons the previous year 2021. So where 45.48 for the year 20 to 21, 2020, 2021 has now gone to further down to 41%, which is 26.99 metric tons. These are very clearly telling you the policy consistency whilst opening up of the block, transparent processes of coming out with auction, policy-driven, open, transparent process, equally bringing down the level of imports which are going on. If we are a country endowed with so much coal, it's no way justifiable if your imports keep going up and you're not opening up the coal blocks. But what is happening now, and to the satisfaction of all of us who will fight for this country, is making sure that the imports come down and greater transparent policies exist so that there is greater extraction and mining of coal in this country. Pralhad Joshi ji had already said it, but I would like to repeat that during 2013-14, the domestic coal production was 626 million tons. But under Prime Minister Modi, domestic coal production has increased by 20% to around 780 million tons. I'm talking about 21-22 provisional figures, which already the Minister has clearly highlighted has gone up. So with these observations, I'd like to appreciate and take note of the efforts being made by the Minister. We need greater investments, not just for coal. We need greater investments also to help in gasification of coal. I invite all of you to energetically participate in these auction processes which are being launched today, and keep your options also further extended for greater extraction of minerals in India, because India needs, during this Amritkal, India needs all the basic minerals. We are in a process of rapid growth. Even today in the morning, you would have read in some of the newspapers that Morgan Stanley, in one of its internal reports, has said that India is the place where investment should be. This is where action is. We are definitely creating a policy environment through which greater transparency and stability guides and invites investments. Next 25 years for India, for both its growth and also for employment. And above all, in the last 8 years, you will see under Prime Minister Modi this consistency of policy, favorable atmosphere for investments and for manufacturing. So with these, I think India creates greater ambience, and above all, consultative process with the stakeholders is what is governing policy. I know Pralhad Joshi ji himself has sat through several consultations, just as we do it during budget. And Prime Minister himself, for every sector of the economy, holds his consultation. So keep the sharing of information, participation in discussions going forward as well, because that's what is going to help us guide policy, which will be favorable for businesses to work, and that in turn creates a virtuous cycle for the economy. So thank you very much, Pralhad, for giving me this opportunity to be here, and also very, very best wishes for all those who are participating in these days. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. May I now request Shri Amitabh Chatterjee, MD and CEO, SBI Capital Markets Limited, to please deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you very much. Extremely thankful for this opportunity to propose the vote of thanks. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our Chief Guest, Union Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, guests of honor, Honorable Union Minister of Coal and Mines, Parliamentary Affairs, and Honorable Minister of State for Rail, Coal and Mines, Raosaheb Patil Danve, Secretary, Ministry of Coal, Shri Moneycontrol, Additional Secretary and Nominated Authority, Ministry of Coal, Shri Pralhad Joshi, industry representatives, delegates, media, and all other attendees for gracing this occasion. In the last few years, we have seen the coal sector evolve greatly. From the first ever transparent options for the coal blocks for specified end use to the option of coal mines for commercial use without any restriction on participation and end use. The change has resulted from consistent policy actions and positive output from the government. We have been privileged to have been associated with the Ministry of Coal since 2015, and we thank the ministry and the industry for representing us. I wish success to all the leaders so that more coal mines are developed and can supply coal and meet our country's energy needs in the future. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I would request all guests to please join us for the request everyone to please be seated and let the honorable ministers make their exit. Thank you for your patience.